Okay.
Okay, right. Very.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. This is Cardano Ghana Community Governance Nexus meetup. My name is Mohammed Mustafa Yaku, and I'm here together with Seidu Zibilin, who is a project manager, let me put it that way, for this particular project. We form part of the Cardano Ghana community, and we are excited to have you join us this morning here on Zoom so that we'll have an insight into governance nexus. You will remember that previously, especially this month, we had a couple of sessions on governance working groups as well as CIP 1694 governance protocol. So today's session is basically going to be beyond that, and I'll just invite you to run us through what we should expect of today's session so that we can kickstart with our presentations. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mustafa, for the brief intro and then the welcome message. So you may mention my name. I'm Sid Ziblim, project manager for Cardano Ghana Subsistence for Governance Working Group. Let me just share my screen so that you have it there. So that good. So what we intend to do here is just for us to get dedicated people. On August 24, we launched the Cardano Ghana 1694 working group. We had a physical event here in Tamale at Hopin Academy, where we invite interested people to join us to be trained and be informed on the governance of Cardano. So as we may mention, we are going to run not minimum of 4 webinars, but since Project Catalyst is being going to be launched, we might be having Project Catalyst A, Project Catalyst B, and then maybe where there's the need for us to run. So basically, our task will be we will meeting here virtually, and anytime we meet, we try our possible best to get clarification and then understanding of what is going on in Cardano. Cardano governance. Cardano governance is our main focus here every weekend, Saturday, 10 a.m. And then what we'll be doing is that we want to get regular people. So what we have done is that the first time we send out a confirmation message for people who are interested to join the working group. We have received about 43. Out of the 43, when we issue out a confirmation, we have 30 something who have confirmed. When we issue our registration, it was 20 people who registered. It is not bad. We want people who will be committed. So because of that, we also take it upon ourselves with the help of the Catalyst to be providing data, internet data and access so that the participants can be joining. Maybe those who have joined and then participate very well might also win some prizes. Possibly if we have dedicated and then at the end of the training, some people are able to understand more and then they are willing to become ZREFs. We might sponsor a minimum of maximum of 3 people. That will be somewhere 1,500 either because to raise out a zero, we'll get to know the amount. So if we get people who have more experience and then they are well dedicated and put well information to become a zero, we'll sponsor them maximum of 3. Basically, this is just a preliminary overview of my comments. And then at the launch, we may mention that we are going to have 3. So the first one, as we may mention, September 21, we are here today. We'll be looking at the 1694 governance working groups. We'll take a look at the direct code of conduct and then what is direct all about. Those who want to register will take you through and guide you. Next week, Project Catalyst Fund 13 will be launched. We invite all of you to come on board at the town hall and hear for yourself. But if you are not able, the following weekend, we'll be here to tell you about the catalyst, what the fund is all about, how you can go about to put on your proposal. Experienced people in the ecosystem will join us to teach us or guide us how we can write meaningful proposals. Then how we can also market the proposals as well as why we should participate in voting. There will be some changes with regards to the voting threshold. When it is being launched, we'll know all those things and guide people. The rules associated and then the rewards. If you are not going to be a proposer, if you are going to be a reviewer or any other thing, what are the rewards associated? All will be discovered the following week. Then after, we'll move to Intercept MBU. Not all of us are aware of what Intercept MBU is all about. And we understand that we are now at the Voltaire stage of the Cardano roadmap. So if at the stage of Voltaire roadmap, who are Intercept MBO? Why are they there? Just 2 days ago, Cardano Foundation joined the Intercept MBO. So if Cardano Foundation is joining Intercept MBO and you are not, I think it is time for all of us to give attention to Intercept MBO and then register either as a associate or fund individual members or enterprise if you want. Our last meeting will be focused on we are just going to have a review of some Catalyst proposals so that we get to understand what worked best in Catalyst application and then why you can navigate your way out. So please, this is just a brief of my intro. And then, so you can see that we have 2 weeks for Project Catalyst. So try your possible best and then be regular. So we'll keep tracking the data to see those who are regular and then we're supporting them with the data and then see how interested they are. Because we normally just invite people. The next time we invite, we are getting different people. But this time around, we want dedicated people to come on board and then share. So we are not going to be doing this alone. We'll be inviting experienced and as I mentioned, seasoned people to be joining us either to tell us what the catalyst proposal review, proposal writing, intercept MBU, and any other thing they will come on board. So it will not going to be same faces on board. Thank you very much. So I think Mustafa, we move to Mustafa presentation, which is insight into the subsystem 94 parameters. So without much ado, if you give me permission, I'll roll on with your slides. Thank you. So please, before Mustafa come on board, we are going to have 2 presentations. My aspect will be directs. Mustafa aspect will be subsystem 94 working group. So after Mustafa presentation, there will be Q&A. We ask all questions and then get clarification before we move to the directs. And then after that your questions can come in other form. If you want to any other question, even if it is not part of our presentation, but it is about Cardano, other season members are here. Bernard, we acknowledge your presence. Thank you very much for joining us from South Africa. We are grateful for your time. Madam Ifia is here. Wada. So any question that you have and then is bothering your mind about Catalyst or Cardano, feel free to ask when we are done. Thank you. So Mustafa.
Yeah, thanks, bro. Thanks for that that rundown to what we should expect of these sessions. So let me also acknowledge Bernard and Madam Ishia. This has been the people, let's just say, quite some we can call them veterans in the Cardano ecosystem. And we all harness each other's potentials to be able to go. So I'll just run us through the insights into the Cardano improvement proposal 1694 parameters. So that's the CIP 1694, so that we know what it is and what we should expect. And so the next slide, Prof. Yeah, so good. So as you may know, the improvement proposal is key. It's a key idea that is aimed at advancing Cardano's governance, and it's aimed at introducing a more decentralized framework to ensure that some foundations are being set up in this Voltaire era. And as you may know, we are now in the latest and final stage of Cardano's development, from the Baron up to this era. So everything is about governance, everything is about decision making, everything is about decentralization. When we say we are the best decentralized blockchain, we should expect the community to be wholly part of the decision-making process. The Cardano wouldn't just be one-man show or 2 people show or 3 people show. No, it's going to be everybody's global show for everyone. So whoever forms part of the Cardano ecosystem should be able to have a voice. Once you hold ADA, you should be able to take part in governance actions in the Cardano ecosystem, and that will help shape the future of Cardano. Yeah, next, please. So yeah, Prof, can I have the next slide?
Can you see my slide?
Yes, I'm still on the overview. Move on to I may have to share from my end. If you want me to share from my end, I can do that.
No.
Okay, good. So yeah, so the CIP 1694 is seen as the transitional step and to help the Cardano ecosystem achieve full decentralization in this Voltaire stage. And the community will have more control, as I mentioned, in the development and operation of the network. So overall, the aim is to foster greater community participation, improve decision-making, and enhance the resilience of the Cardano network. Most of you here were fortunate to be part of the constitutional workshop, and that alone was an initial step. I mean, there was over 50 global workshops that was held worldwide to invite the voice, to invite the views and feedback, and even criticisms, constructive criticisms from the community to be able to help draft the Cardano Constitution. And that's one perfect use case of what the CIP 1694 seeks to do. So the parameters are basically setting key, thematic areas, and that would define the rules and processes for making decisions. And the main components are governance stakeholders. So who are the governance stakeholders? So we are looking at the stakeholder operators, SPOs. We are looking at the delegated representatives, the reps, and then the constitutional committee. And so they'll be responsible for what? For the governance decisions. These three major stakeholders form parts of the governance, decision-making bodies, and that they will be in charge of facilitating and ensuring that we are able to take part actively in governance decision. Next, please. Let's see the next parameter. So the Constitution, as I indicated, is going to be the regulatory document, and is going to define the principles and values and rules that are going to govern how decisions are made on the Cardano blockchain. The budgeting, the operations, software development, treasury, every aspect of the Cardano blockchain is going to be driven by votes and decisions and feedbacks and surveys, and that will give us a data-driven, feedbacks and data-driven analysis into what we should do as an ecosystem, and that aims to what, and that aligns with the Cardano's vision of decentralization and sustainability and scalability. So the next parameter will be the types of governance actions. So what proposals are made to the network that require approval? And they should include motions of no confidence, protocol changes, hard fork initiation, treasury withdrawals, and the constitutional changes. So anything that has to do with amendments, changes into most of these, governance actions will have to be what? We'll have to consult the Cardano community to be able to vote on governance actions to influence these particular areas, the hard fork, treasuries, the constitution draft or amendments and all that. The next parameter, let's see, thresholds, quorum requirements. I mean, what number are we looking at when we are going to vote on decisions or governance actions? What quorum requirements are we going to look at? What are the approval thresholds? What are the criteria, the parameters to look at in terms of approving decisions and allowing people to cast their votes? SPO approvals, if you want to be a stakeholder operator, what are some of the criteria, the guidelines that one must follow to be able to participate as an SPO? And what are some of the guiding principles that would shape the behaviors of SPO in the ecosystem? So these are all parameters that the CIP 1694 aims to highlight on. Prof, is there any other? Let's see. Yes, so delegation and representation. So as an ADA holder, you'll be able to delegate your voting power to the reps. People that have registered as delegated representatives, you can empower them. You can give them the authority to act on your behalf. So once they have it, they'll be able to register. They can revoke their participation, and you can also delegate to the reps to take part in governance actions on your behalf as an ADA holder. So I think in the subsequent sessions, more will be highlighted on that as to regarding how you can register as a direct, how to participate on governance actions, and what have you. Treasury and funding. So on-chain funding proposals can request funds from the Treasury, develop projects, marketing efforts, community building initiatives. So these are all parameters or decision thematic areas that are going to be shared by the Cardano community. Checks and balances. So the Constitutional Committee provides a layer of protection by reviewing and vetoing potentially harmful proposals. So these parameters together aim to make governance more decentralized, and it's going to engage various community actors to ensure that governance proposals undergo a rigorous process before implementation. So yeah, next please. What we should expect is that once you are an ADA holder, it's just like giving you the power, giving you the voter ID, be able to take part in decisions, and you can cast your vote or delegate your power to someone who is a direct to take part in that. And this is basically the roadmap that the CIP 1694 aims. So it was published in November 2022, and there has been global community workshops that was held in the first to second quarter of 2023. Intersect MBO came, and then Constitutional Committee, the Constitution was what? Was being published, interim Constitution. Then we had the interim Constitutional Committee announced. That was the second quarter of this year. Then the Pioneer Program, the Red Pioneer Program was launched in the third quarter. Then the Cardano node was released, the Challenge Hack Fork #1, that was September 1, 2024. And as I indicated, the global constitutional workshops over 50 locations were also being hosted in the third quarter to fourth quarter of this year. And we expect the next hard fork to take place in the first quarter of 2025. And then the constitutional convention will happen in the last quarter of this year in Argentina, as you may be aware. Most of you were part of the voting processes, and you elected the delegates to represent Cardano, the Ghana community at the convention somewhere later this year. Yeah, so that's basically the roadmap. That's the 1694, CIP 1694 seeks to embark on. So join the relevant links. We have the Intersect MBO. If you're not a member, as Edu indicated, you can register to be an individual enterprise. If you want to be a paid member, $10, and you are a paid member of the Intersect MBO community. It's a foundational member that gives you access to so many resources and platforms. GitHub, Cardano Foundation, you can look at that, drives. These are links that possibly we can even share on our Telegram groups to have a look at it. We have the Sanko Gov tools, the Intersect MBO website. You can look at all that. So thank you so much. That's basically what we should expect on the parameters. You join our community, Cardano Ghana Official, and follow us on X at x.com, Cardano Ghana, as well as email us for any other inquiries. Thanks so much, Paul. So we can either have the session, or maybe we take Q&A, then we move to the next.
So I think we can have the Q&A. I'll just stop sharing, and then so before we have the Q&A or come on board, just to highlight one or two key things on the roadmap of the SIP 1694. We know that about Intercept. I just want to highlight one or two more things about Intercept. Intercept came on board to organize or take the lead of the proposal, the 1694 proposal, so that it will make it a more interactive platform. It will not be handled by the IUG, Cardano Foundation, or Imego. That's why we are saying that the founding entities of Cardano is there are three: Cardano Foundation, Imego, and then input output. So they say that there's no need for them to be part of this. So they are doing their part as founding members. So Intercept MBO was published. So they developed the Gov tools. So through the Gov tool that you go to see the governor action where you can submit and everything. They also have a funding project run on board. They are now taking in charge of developers. They currently issue a developer advocate program. Bernard is one of the developer advocates, just like Cardano Foundation was having the Cardano ambassadors. So all Intercept MBU has a lot for us. So that was why they are key to this. They are hosting the constitutional workshop. They are organizing the convention and all those things. So try your possible way to understand the basic parameters of it. The proposal itself link will be shared. It's already been added to the document. So we are sharing the 1694 proposal. If you are registered on GitHub, you can just log into there and then read more about that proposal and see how the proposal was being drafted. So without much ado, we can have the Q&A from Mustafa presentation about the brief intro overview of the 1694 proposal.
Yeah,
questions
so
can come.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Can either put it on the chat or just take note of that, or come off mute and ask it. And we try as much as possible to respond. I think you mentioned yeah. Let me hear.
Just comment on the CIP, the 1694. Maybe you may mention of it. The CIP means Cardano.
Cardano improvement proposal.
Means Cardano improvement proposal. Every blockchain has improvement proposal. When you go to Bitcoin, they have a BIP. Ethereum have EIP. Binance have a BIPO. So all those things. So every blockchain has improvement proposals. So just like we do in Project Catalyst, we submit proposal to do this or this and that and that and that. But since it is not about the entirely about the blockchain, that one might not be given those titles. But
Yeah.
if it's just going to be about the blockchain itself, it is referred to as what CIP, and then there is a number attached to it to distinguish it from other proposals. So the 1694 was the birthday
But
of the
yeah,
Voltaire.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
the philosophy behind it, I think you share it, right? The philosophy behind the Voltaire,
Yeah,
you
the
should
Voltaire.
share. You should have you give everything,
Yeah, I
which
think
is
it's
so it is named after what? It is named after the birth of
yeah, Voltaire.
Voltaire, the philosopher who ideas what of governor inspired the shape of Cardano. So let's just understand these things, and then we'll not have much problem. So the slides are here. The slide will be shared. This is Voltaire. This is her picture. It's a lady. Okay. So SPOs, they were already in the system before the proposal. So they are taking part. Why are they taking part? They are taking part because they are validating those in the ecosystem. So if at any time you submit a proposal, a governance proposal, they should also have a look of it to see that whether it is harmful to the ecosystem or not. So constitutional committee are here not for anything but to ensure that in all governance actions submitted are in line with the constitution. So that is why the constitutional committee are part of the governance stakeholders. And ZREFs, as I may mention, they are going to be representative of the entire ecosystem. We'll be sharing with you very soon. All proposals or all governance actions submitted, reps have a role to play, but not all that governance action six operators have something to say, neither the Cardano, sorry, the Constitutional Committee. But for DREFs, they play all roles. Anytime there's a government action, they have to decide whether it is going to be yes or no, or they are going to abstain on that vote. So very important. The Constitution, as we may mention, we so appreciate your time during the constitutional workshop here in Tamale. Your feedback has been sent, and then they have also approved your inputs and then everything for us. So we are still waiting for us to see how things will evolve coming to December. So we are still at the
Yeah,
Q&A.
so yeah, bro. Yeah,
Mhm.
so far I think people are just saying hi. Yeah, maybe we can take the next session, possibly
Okay,
just address the questions together.
okay. But before we take the next session, Madam and Ben, if they are season members, if we might skip anything from our presentation about the proposal. This is we are just talking about proposal. They know more, or they have more information, or just as we have. So if they want to add something, they can add. So, Madam, if you want to add something to the discussion for now, before we move to the next presentation. Or Bernard, you come?
Yeah,
Thank
anyone?
you. Greetings, everybody. Well, my role as a developer advocate is to support your communities, like this one in this workshop here, and to all new people to say, please be more active in these communities here. You said something like sometimes people who come, after sometimes they don't come, so their tendency is not consistent like that. This is one most important thing that I will request and support, that let us try to be consistent with these meetings, especially new people. That is my support for this. I'm working with these people in different groups in Cardano, all of them here. They support our communities in South Africa. We support them. And if you are not consistently attending these meetings, you are going to suffer when it comes to catalyst, when you are giving your own reference. So this is why it's very important. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Bernard, for the comments and then the encouragement of members to be persistent and then always come on board. Very important. When you are submitting a proposal and then there's always a part of feasibility, your experience that you have to always add, so that committee members will get to know who you are, what you have done. So you can add that you are being a member of this Cardano Ghana working groups. It's one thing that can earn you a lot of points so that your proposal might go through. So please try your possible best. As we may mention, that's why we have limited the number to 30. We can have more than 30, but we want to work with 30 people and see how best we can see how best. If at the end of it, they can become active people in Project Catalyst, we are good. If they become active as directs, we are good. So let's have that in mind. Hello, madam. If you also have something to say for now, if we don't, we'll proceed to our next presentation. Maybe madam is not. Maybe madam is not. So we have some question. Yes. So let me ask on this data. Yes, I may mention that we get some.
Someone is saying his data is depleted. Why is it depleted?
2 gig, 2 gig. Some receive 3 gig, some receive 2 gig. I don't know how.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe it's dependent on there.
Right. So maybe if there's the need for us to adjust, we'll do that. So let's proceed with the next presentation. Just a minute so that I'll be able to share my screen for you.
Or perhaps Musa Haruna, maybe you weren't part of those who got the data. You may have to check in with that because I think some others, those who registered earlier and was prioritized for data typing, I'm sure they got it. And that should be enough for the call.
Okay. Can you see my slide? If so.
Yeah, you may have to put it on slideshow.
You can see this.
Yeah, well, not the entire.
Yeah, I'm using a PDF.
Yes. Oh, I can see it.
So if it is PDF, I think sometimes that's how it is. So PDF is changing, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so thank you very much for your time and your patience once again. We will mention my name is Seydou. I will be taking you through the reps. And then I'm using the official document prepared for this training. We will mention of the role of intercept. As I mentioned, they are uniting the Cardano ecosystem and then they develop this document for us to use for the trainings of DREPs. So the initial launch a program known as a DREPs Pioneer Program. It was part of the roadmap. So through this program was just to get the community understand what the DREPs program is all about and then how they can participate, either being DREP or delegators. So that's why we are using this document, because it's the official document. So we proceed to find out what it is all about. So now, very important, the shorthand for DREPs, it is as delegated representative is DREP. Because over the weekend we were having the discussion on X. Some are writing it improper way. So take your time and then get to know how it is being spelled or how you write it. It is capital D, capital REP. Very important. So DREP is being abbreviated as well. This. So who is a DREP? Any person or entity who is given voting power by any delegation from other wallets. So let's explain something here. DREP is not a one person. Currently, Cardano Ghana have not registered as a DREP. Possibly, I think WADA is also working on it. I have not seen they are coming. So please, let's understand. Don't try to say that you want to do this alone You get to understand the rules involved. So you have to do it as a team. You can do it if you can do it as a one person, very good. But if you cannot form a team and then before you register, because it is very important on the part of registration, there's a particular place of information. You tell us who you are, what are the team behind your what your direct pool, so that people can delegate their voting power to you. So let's get this about of mind. And then a delegator, a person or any entity who decide to delegate their voting power to what? A direct. Either holder, as we all know, any person who hold the either cryptocurrency is refers to as what? Either holder. So we might all be what? Either holders, since we have one or two either with us. Governor action, Mustafa have already mentioned all those things. So we are not going to focus more on this. That is not our concern for today. Cardano governance rules.
Prof, I can't see your screen again. Your slide. Are you able to? I don't know if I'm the only one. You can reshare.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Yes, it is visible this side. The DREP rule.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Then I think I'm on contacts. So DREP rule. So now we ask ourselves, the DREP rule. A DREP serves as a community spokesperson. We are given an example like our normal political system, member of parliaments, either MP or member of our legislation. So a representative in the Cardano ecosystem actively participates in voting on-chain actions and advocating for delegated collective interest. Let's take note of this. A DREP actively participating by voting on-chain governance actions and advocating for their delegated collective interest. So now, even sometimes Catalyst Town Hall, not all of us are active participation, or even Cardano workshops or other things. We are not all active participating. If you know there's no time for you to be participating active, please do not register as a DREP. Rather, delegate your vote to what? A DREP. Very important. DREP hold what? Significant responsibility in governance process. Voting on important system updates. Approval depend on what? Cardano. So the approval depend on governance action type and our request require a sufficient vote from corresponding governance bodies, SPU and the Constitutional Committee. What we're trying to say here is that as a DREP, as a delegated representative, your role must be about voting. So if you don't have the time, you better delegate your voting power. But if you also have the time, not as an individual, you should make up a team.
We are not getting you very well.
Wow. Mr. Christian, can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you take that again. Just where you were.
Okay. So we're saying that the role of a DREP goes beyond, let's say, voting. This is what we were saying. The role of a DREP goes beyond voting. Though voting is the primary role. But aside the voting, you should also have the capacity to try to bargain or call for the interest of your delegators. Who are the kind of people are you to represent as a DREP? This is in your mind. Are you going to be supporting what? The grassroots? Are you going to be supporting what? Educational content? Are you going to come in as a DREP to support marketing of it? Or what kind of what? Or you are coming to be supporting more technical proposals or social what? Proposals? Social impact. Cardano ecosystem vision is about what? To be what? Financial and social what? Ecosystem. So try your possible to understand, define your role, your mission of becoming of a DREP. So not just for voting, and your delegators too. You have earned some trust with them. Your activities goes beyond what voting. You should be able to have the capacity to call or advocate for what their interests. That is what we are just saying about this. And we are saying that DREPs goes the other governing body, the SPUs and the Constitutional Committee. Yes. So this is what I was just saying. So as a DREP, you will have the voting. You will have to vote either yes, no, or abstain. So if you are voting as yes, You should be transparent. Tell us why you are voting for yes, and tell the entire community as well as your delegated why you are voting for yes for this proposal. Why no or why you are going to abstain. You have the what? These three options to cast your votes. So now, your expectation, as I was just saying, being a direct show commitment and wider Cardano ecosystem that you have a vested interest in the future of Cardano. That's one thing that you should have at the back of you'll be a community leader, which also show that you have some vested interest in the future of the ecosystem. So if you read the Cardano mission and vision statement, and then you see it out to be more stable, you can come as a D-Rep. For transparency, commit to transparency at all time. Remains open if any conflict of interest arise with other rules or position within the community. You must provide voting rationale. I made mention of this. You must provide voting rationale for each proposal. This will be made public. Your delegates and others can view this. So we are saying that transparency is very key heading towards. You should not tell us that you are going to be supporting social products, a social proposal, but you are rather voting for technical proposals. If you are voting for yes, why yes? You give a note for that. So that way we're saying that it's not one man job. You have to do it within a team, so that maybe someone will read and then read and come out with a rationale, so that you make it more public. Minimum risks. One of the key goals of delegating is to improve the quality of decision making to create a more equal landscape and voting power. So being a direct, you are reducing the risks being in the ecosystem. The rules of a direct, I may mention, governance participation, delegating voting power, evaluating. You can see it now here. These are your rules. Proposal evaluating, community representation. Today we are the Cardano convention is happening in December. Some directs will be there, but not all directs are going to be there. So maybe if you are a direct and a sub-18 is coming on board, you have the right to represent your delegates, represent your community. Transparency and auditability, so very important. So let's try our part to understand these basic rules. When you are going to raise as a direct, you can do it with minimum of 3 people, and then you go ahead. My next slide. So now direct must vote to remain active. So as we keep on saying, active. You cannot just register as a direct and then decide not to participate in governance action. You will be be inactive, or your registered ID will refer to and you will be regarded as an inactive. So retain active status. Registered directs need to vote regularly to maintain their active status. So you can see it. So inactive directs do not contribute to active voting stake, and they must resume voting to begin to become active. So if you register as a direct and then you decide not to participate in voting, your primary role will be regarded as inactive, and you will not be added as voting stake. All right, okay. So maintaining your voting power. If a direct does not submit any vote for a specific number of epoch. Epoch in Cardano means every period. That is why in the case of 5 days, every 5 days there might be a governor action for you to take decision on it. So let's take note of that. So if you have not submitted any votes for a specific number of epochs, which is yet to be determined, you will be considered as inactive. So you might want to find out how many times can I absent myself as a direct from voting, which will make me inactive. Through the constitutional convention, all will be determined and then it will be shared with the community. Preventing governance dreadlock. If directs do not mark inactive, it can potentially lead to a state where no governance action can pass due to insufficient active staking data. So this making some people active and some people inactive just to guide the community to know who are really doing the work and who are not doing the work. So you might assume that there are people who vote whenever we submit a governance action, and then it will turn up slowing the activities of the ecosystem. So very important, and you can see the diagram here. So understanding delegation. So now we are asking ourselves, why should we just delegate? Maybe we are saying that if you cannot research a DREP or you don't have the capacity to be, and then we are calling upon you to be a delegator. And why should we do that instead of raising as a DREP? Delegation enables either holder to delegate some or all their voting power to what? A delegated representative, that's a DREP. These DREPs can coordinate and form policies together, review data, consult with experts, and ultimately vote upon our proposal. So if your delegation will enable and give them the morale to review, to make time to review data, on-chain governance data which have been submitted, they will also do that and then maybe get some rules to consult experts so that they will be able to make informed decision about what the proposal which have been submitted. Because consulting of an expert might not go cost-free, so it might be somehow be expensive or might go for some fees. But through your voting power, your delegation to them, they will be able to have some funds to consult experts so that they will make informed decision about for you, your absence. So delegation is also used today in several liquid democracy for decision making. When we talk of liquid democracy, it means that you can have it today, you can have it tomorrow. When you delegate your voting power to a DREP, you can delegate at any point in time, and then you will not lose anything from your funds. So basically, this is why you should delegate. So there's some might ask, what happen if I don't delegate my voting power to a DREP? We have some concerns about that. So the first concern is that overwhelming number of transactions in the system, if a big number of stakeholders vote within the same period. So this is one of the concerns. For some governance actions of more technical nature, it may not be easy for all stakeholders to form a confident opinion, right? So we are saying that some proposal might be more technical, and then you are not a technical, you are not a developer, you are not maybe a programmer or you are not a technical person. If you are going to express your opinion upon it, it's leading the ecosystem, though you have the voting power. So it is better to give it to those who have experience to do that on behalf of you. So that's why registering as a DREP, it is important you tell us who you are, your experience in the ecosystem, all those information, so that delegators will have information about you before they can decide. So the other concern, what if happen if you don't delegate? Yes, if the majority of DREPs take the time and effort to form a world justified on opinion, it will help. So if you delegate, it will help. Yes, stakeholder delegating their voting power to them make DREPs that they trust generally tend to agree with. So it will not help if the DREPs do not do their job or do not care about the election outcome. So delegation will not help only if they don't care. DREPs don't care about their principles. So this is what we are just going to say. So now basically to the code of conduct of DREPs, these are just values. They are values, but they are not rules. They are not binding upon members of or delegators. Please. So let's just understand this. So as I was just saying, as a DREP, as a member of parliament, there are some values which are cherished by your people. Or for in our case, there are rules that you have to follow. But in our case, they are not rules. They are just values which we have just established here. So the amount it is disclosure of information. I mean, very important as a DREP. You should not try to hide any information from the community or your delegators. You should always be prepared to disclose all information about you. If you are a member of any organization, let us know. If you are not, okay, but if you're not, maybe if you are a member of Cardano Ghana community and then you are participating actively in it, let us know and then all what we are doing. And do not mislead the community. To disclose all information at the appropriate time. So maybe how the information can also be disclosed, you have to establish that through your information when you are raising as a DREP. Are you going to be using survey? Are you going to be using X? Are you going to be using weekly newsletters? Are you going to be using maybe any channel, bulk SMS that you are going to disclose your information so that people can go there and read and verify the information that you have also submitted on. So your competence, as we are saying, competence, identity, whether you are male or female, that is not what we mean. Your identity here, your gender is not something that we mean here when we talk of identity. We mean about how can we trust your level of your skills, your expertise when it comes to your role as a zero. So people should be able to identify you. They should be able to your interest and your alliance, as I mentioned. Very important. Where are you much interested in? Are you interested in the trading of cryptocurrency? Are you interested in the institutional onboarding, institutional adoption, developers? You are interested in ecosystem management. You are interested in marketing of the blockchain. You are interested in education. You are interested in the grassroots and your interest. Let us know. Let everything be shown in your registration or your information. Very important. So this is just the code of conduct. So now the reward scheme. The reward scheme is something that is still under discussion. So I just want to inform the house that there will be rewards for DREPs, but it is still under discussion. So as a DREP, you will definitely be rewarded. So I'll stop my presentation here. The slides will be shared, and then we'll now open the floor for discussion. This is a working group. So as a working group or members, we want an interaction, discussion, something that might be bothering your mind. I'm just showing the slides of the reward scheme. We'll share everything with you. So please try your possible best and then open your mind and then now have your question answered. So every week when we come here, we'll just give a preliminary review and then we welcome you. Any governance decision which has been going on and then you have problem with it, voice it out. We'll try to explain to you if we can. If we cannot, we will transfer you to the necessary bodies to take a look of that. That is the main goal of this working group. That's what we want to have regular people so that we have understanding of it. When we get to Purikata, the same thing that we are going to be doing. So now we are opening the floor for questions or discussions or comments on Cardano and then the governance of it. Thank you very much. I'm done with my presentation.
Hello, Prof.
Yes.
Yeah, you are true now.
Yes, yeah, I'm true.
In fact, that was
So
very insightful.
yes.
Almost everything about the reps, especially um, the conceptual aspect of it. That's
Yes.
very good. And I think that after this call, we'll just share it because it is very important to understand the concepts so that once we get to the practicals, they can better learn how to set up the wallets and connect their wallets to be able to research the reps. So most of the time we usually interested in the practical aspect, but it's good to get the concept so that when it's time for us to practice, we can better practice. So Madam, if your hand is up, we can take her remarks or comments.
But before Madam,
Okay.
All right.
Go on, say.
Someone asked a question. I just wanted to respond to that.
Okay.
He's asking whether a DREP has a minimum or limited number of delegates that delegated to him or her. No. You can, if you can convince the entire ecosystem to delegate their voting power to you, it's up to you. You are not limited to any number of delegates to you. Okay. For now. All right, Madam, you can come over.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is really helpful. This is really helpful because reading a lot sometimes makes people lose the concept, but you explaining up and down the various things was good. My only question is Cardano community the rep? Are you
not
registered? Are you registering as a rep?
Well,
as I mentioned, hello, Madam.
We can consider that.
Yeah.
For now.
You want to find out whether we are registering as a DREP, right?
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yes, for now, we are still taking that decision or discussing it. As I may mention, the role of DREP goes beyond voting. And it's not a one-man job. So the team has to try our possible and understand the role very well. And then we'll do our background checks very well. And then to see the commitment that will be vested in it so that we will not register and then later will become inactive. And then if it means having 2 people or 3 people to be running the DREP, it is cool. But I don't subscribe to the idea that one person should register as a DREP. If you are going to be a one person and then you want to be a GREP, I would rather advise you to delegate it to other people because I think the tax or the tax goes beyond just registering as a GREP. Though we need more people to become GREP so that we'll have diverse decision whenever a government action is being proposed. So we are still on that, but we have that in mind. As I may mention, maybe even if we are not able to do, and then there are some members in the working group or in this group that they are willing, and then they are able to present a well-informed information or background, we will support them. We have some either pool about 1,500 to support maximum of 3 people to become DREPs. So we are still considering that for ourselves.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. I really like that. This morning I saw a Twitter post. Someone is offering himself as a direct. He's also putting up his ADA wallet, those who want to delegate to him and all those things. But for Cardano community to come up to say they want to really understand what it is, I appreciate that. It's not like you are following the masses and then you are just going ahead to register. It's a very good initiative. Yeah. So from this note, does it mean that it's not advisable to delegate a one-man direct? What do you think about that? Because I've seen a number of people that had registered and they are campaigning for people to delegate to them. But from the background that you are coming from, are you advising that it's not good to register to a one-man direct?
To delegate to a one-man direct, that is what I was saying. I will not advise to delegate to a one-man direct, but depend on the angle the person is coming from. We have just seen the rules. I've just shared some of the rules of a direct. It goes beyond just voting.
My internet dropped off, so I think I didn't get that.
Okay. So the rules are there.
Maybe you can read. No. Yeah, okay. So you are going to share the links. The slides.
I'll share the slides and then the links so add later. Okay. So we're just saying the rules. Let me read some to you. So direct rules. So the first is what governance participation, and then what delegating voting power. But however, a direct cannot also delegate his voting power to another direct. Let me clear this. As a direct, if you register as a direct, you cannot delegate to another direct. For people have entrusted you, you can also delegate. It will be misleading. I think a sitting member of the Cardano Foundation have already answered that question on X. I was fortunate to have that. And then what? Proposal evaluation. That is one aspect of the role of a direct. No, these proposals are not like catalyst proposals. So let's understand it. And then community representation is another role of a DREP. Transparency and auditability. Can we audit the person? Is the person being transparent? So it is all boiled down to the information the person presents when he or she is registered as a DREP. If the person says that I'm registered as a DREP to be supporting marketing proposals or to be supporting educational proposals about Cardano, and then he's able to convince you, and you think that the person can really do it, you can go and then delegate your voting power to it. But we are informing the house that they should try out the apostle best and then do that in a team. If you have in a team, maybe you have some technical people and then non-technical people who will be reading proposals, who will be evaluating it, people who can represent you. You know, there are some people that are good in communication. If they ask you questions about your direct pool, and you are not able to explain to them, you are just going to be a director. Your role will be inactive because you might not be able to participate in the voting of it, or your role as expected. So that was something that I was just saying. So that's why we have not also jumped to register as a director since the registration was kick off. We will show you the group how you can register as a direct. I think it's important. Unless Madam will have something to add.
Oh no, that's good. That's very eye-opening. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then Mustafa, you remember just to add to what Madam was saying, why we need to have more information or understanding before we take a decision. When the ICC registration commenced, the interim constitutional members at that time we just finished the direct onboarding empowering Cardano Ghana community, which was a Fan 11 project in April. So we told them about intercepts and then just give them wait and ask them to go and read. One of our member, the person of Mr. Kamal Jim Musa, so when they call on upon the community to register to become interim constitutional members, Mustafa read and then I also read and I said, no, this one there is not for us. We will not go in for that. But one of our members who was just new to the ecosystem registered and then he go through all the process, though he didn't win to be a seat to be a member of the ICC. So later he also realized that if he understand it was this, he are not also maybe registered to be for himself to be there. So his name is part of the candidates who registered to be ICC members. So this is why it is important for us to understand what you have understand it. You can now go ahead and
Okay, so the other question is, so if I decide that this fund running, I'm going to delegate to one particular direct, and then after the fund running, I decide that the next funding, I won't delegate to them again. It's like when you delegate to a direct, is it fixed or you can change your direct always?
You can definitely change your direct at any time. At any time, you can change. It is not like what we do in Project Catalyst. Indeed, direct delegation differ from Catalyst. Catalyst directs is coming. These are Cardano directs. So Cardano directs, anytime take up your delegation and then redelegate or you vote yourself. You can also vote directly. Direct voting is also allowed. However, let me also add this in. We have seen you on hand, Mr. Samuel. We come to you. However, if you stake your ADA to a staking pool and you want to claim the staking reward, you need to delegate to a dealer before you'll be able to withdraw your staking rewards. This is another key thing that why we should delegate our vote to direct or we should raise as a direct. If you have staking rewards and you want to claim it, currently I have not delegated my voting power to a direct, but I have some staking rewards. If I want to claim that staking rewards, I have to delegate to a direct. I'll be able to do that. So Catalyst directs might come after Fan 13. They were discussing about it in the Catalyst voices. But for now, Cardano direct at any point in time, you can delegate to the person. You can also take you can also delegate to the person as well. And you as a direct at any point in time you can also retire as a direct. At any point in time, you can also retire as a direct. Thank you very much, madam.
Yeah, bro. So I want to quickly add that yes, so since we know you can revoke your direct status, or I also want to highlight that everything will become finalized when we have the ratified constitution, because at this moment things look kind of vague or temporal in the ecosystem until maybe the convention ratified the Cardano constitution, which is now going to be a regulated document for every aspect of the ecosystem. Because all these things were discussed at the local workshops that was held, and there has been community members voted on them, surveys have been taken, and these things have been presented to even some of the service committees, and that is going to be finalized at the convention when voting too is going to be done there. So once these things are done, we can now see that, okay, directs, this is the expiry period, this is the duration, this is how you can revoke, are directs going to be rewarded, what's the modalities and all that. So hopefully all these discussions will lead up to the ratification of the constitution, and we can have it as the final document to refer to.
Okay.
on
So,
any
Mr.
every
Samuel,
organization.
you come on board. So please unmute
Okay.
yourself and speak.
Okay. So my question is, during the presentation, you made mention that an either holder can delegate some or all the either the person has. So I want to find out what does that mean, and
Yes.
I mean if you can throw more light on that, and
So,
and the other question is how do I delegate? I mean my voting power. How can
okay.
I delegate my voting power to a dealer? If you can take us through that one too.
Okay, thank you. So I'll start it. I'll take it from the bottom to the top. So how you can delegate your voting power to a direct. We are here to go to that aspect. It is is practical. So we will show you very soon when we are done with the any questions or clarification that members might want to have. So that one I'll show you where you can do that and how you can also do that. And then the second one is we talk of the liquid democracy. That is what we call liquid democracy. It is your voting power. It is we regard that as 100%. So you have the decision is on to you whether you are going to give all to the DREP or you give some to a DREP and also participate some, or you give it to one or two DREPs. So that is what we mean by you can delegate some or all your DREPs to delegate your voting power to a DREP. This is liquid democracy. As just unlike our traditional governance system, when you elect your constituency representative or your member of parliament, you can when you elect the person forever. You cannot also represent him yourself. You cannot represent yourself at it or at the local assembly. When you elect your assembly member, you have elected the person to represent you, but you cannot also represent yourself as well. But in Cardano or in this governance scheme, you can either do that directly, you can represent yourself, that is through direct votes, or you can delegate some of your voting power to the person and then also do so. So you can do that by fraction. Yes. So someone want to ask what's the benefit of being a DREP? So the benefit, as we may
Oh,
mention, you are help. Okay, Mr. Bai, if you want to come in, you are unmute. Unmute yourself.
okay. Yes, I was going to alert you on that question. That if you want to highlight on it, so you can
Okay.
go ahead.
The benefit is that, as we may mention, you are helping to make the ecosystem more decentralized and on-chain governed. So that is why we are calling upon you. Step 694, you become a governance stakeholder. That's one benefit of you. You become a governance stakeholder, and then you get to connect with a lot of what experienced people in the ecosystem. And then I don't want to mention the rewards, but there are rewards associated to it. So there are a lot of benefits. You also learn as well. Now, knowledge is more worthful than any amount of money or a material thing that you're going to have. So if you raise as a direct, there are a lot of benefits that you're going to have. You have a global recognition as a member of a ecosystem. So please, it's important, and then there are a lot of benefits associated to DREPs. So if there's no any other question, we dive into the practical session of how to become a DREP and how to also delegate your voting power to a DREP if you want to do so. Right? Or there's something, Mustafa?
No, yeah, I think we can look at that, and that will be the last for this for today, right? The
Oh, okay. I asked the question in the chat. Maybe you've not read it. I was asking that from the explanation you gave to Sami, does it mean that you can delegate to two the reps? Maybe you look at the ecosystem, so this is doing social things. So I'll delegate some power to this. I also have some technical things, so I'll delegate some of my power to this. Is that possible?
For now, I've not seen that feature now. I don't know. Ben, I have registered. I don't know whether you come on board here. I've not seen that feature. And then I've not also seen a reaction to this question from the community, but I'll take it up and follow up whether one person can delegate to one or two if it's not going to be conflict of interest. Bernard, if you want to say something on this, whether one person can delegate to one or two people.
Right.
Well, what I can say for truth is I didn't take part in the testnet when they were doing it. I just now only completed registering WIMS Cardano community as a D-Rep. What I can say with confidence is the delegation is per wallet. So if, for example, I've got 2-3 wallets, I can delegate one to Water, delegate another to you, Cardano, Ghana community, delegate another one to Goma Stake Pool, delegate another one to whoever. That is possible.
Okay. Right. So
Thank you, Bernard. How are you doing?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
thank you for that. So that means that delegation now is about wallet. So I just made it. Okay, let's do it together. I wanted to do something backstage, but I think it's important to do it together. So if you permit me to share my screen, I will do that. And, I've changed my PC for that. I did the registration in the other PC. So I just wanted, because currently I have to reinstall the Ural wallet extension in this PC to be able to guide participants. Other than that, if this will work, I'll just use this slide.
Bro, this question here.
Okay.
When will the delegation start? And is it done?
Delegation has commenced. Registration of DLEPs has
Yeah.
commenced. Registration has commenced, I think, 2 weeks ago, as well as delegation. So it is in progress. You can register as a DLEP now. You can also delegate your voting power to a DLEP now. So can you see my screen?
Yeah, bro.
Yes.
To register as a DLEP, follow this simple step. I will explain this one, and then we get into the web lesson. Web distance. So first, when you have to do that through the Gov central.gov tools. Let me share the link here. Central.gov tools. Let me stop sharing. Please just a minute so that you have it. Those who want to follow will just follow, and then Gov tools. A minute, I'm almost done. Gov.
Yeah, it. I should put it for you.
If you have it, put it on the link so that I'll just open it here. It's in your slides, Kura.
Yeah, but I'll pick it up from the chat.
That's it. Thank you very much. So this is the link. When you let me open this. I'm not seeing a place to share my browser. Okay, is it this one? Okay.
So yeah.
So this is mainnet. This is the mainnet. It's our launch. Earlier on, when we were doing the direct onboarding, it was still on the testnet. So now it is now on the Cardano blockchain. Any registration that you do is on the mainnet of the ecosystem. So it is loading. That is finished, and then wait. Someone is asking of catalyst direct. Catalyst direct refers to representative in project catalyst. So maybe if in the project catalyst you are not able to vote yourself, you can also delegate your voting power to people to represent you in a particular fund. And then probably that will be even give us more understanding of Cardano DFs. You know, in every 2 or 3 months, we have a funding rounds in project catalyst. Oh, sorry, the network is loading. All right. The important thing is that if you don't have strong network, you are not able to get into the site of some of these blockchains. The network is better today. I don't know why. Oh. All right, so let me explain it here with the slides. Let me explain it with the slides. So now, when you register, so when you open the site that I've just shown, central.gas2, you will see it's a particular button. You have to connect wallet, very important. You can either use Yoroi wallet or Eternal. There are you can also use Lace wallet. There are other wallets that you can use. When you click on it, you see the supported wallets. So you connect your wallet. After connecting your wallet, your dashboard will be shown. From your dashboard, click on register as what? As a ZREP. So that's the panel. You can see it here, register as a ZREP. And from your wallet, the wallet that you've connected, the amount of ADA in it will be showing here as the voting power. At the top right corner of your dashboard, your voting power will be showing there. That will refer to your amount of voting power. And to raise as a DREP, you need minimum of 500 ADA. Some will say you need 500 ADA or maximum. It's not maximum, it's minimum. You can have 500 or more. So you need minimum of 500 ADA to raise as a DREP. And this 500 ADA will be taken as deposit, please. This 500 ADA will be taken as deposit from your wallet, and then that is why you use to delegate yourself, and then it will be showing in your dashboard as what? As your voting power before you can register as a DREP. Then after you can delegate more ADA to yourself, and then you participate in your governance of on-chain governance action. So please be aware of this. The minimum amount of ADA needed to register as a DREP is 500 ADA. And that 500 ADA is deposit. It is not a fee. Anytime you retire as a DREP, that 500 ADA will be sent back to your wallet. So I take your 500 ADA and then use it for whatever reason that you want to use it before you retire. So then after, what we were calling of information, the ecosystem refers to it at metadata. So that is the place that you have to tell us your information and where we can read more about you. So if you don't have a website or a web page, it is prefer you use a GitHub. So if you don't have a GitHub account, try your possible and get one, so that all the information that you put in the registration panel, you quickly download it and go and upload it on GitHub and copy the link and come and paste it on the place of HTTPS, so that you're able to proceed to register as a GDAP. Then after, you confirm your registration by clicking on register. When you confirm your registration by clicking on register, you wait patiently, it will run, and you have your DREP ID. You'll be given an ID, known as what as a DREP what ID. So please, this DREP ID is something that you are going to use to call for delegators or either holder to delegate their voting power to you. So please copy your DREP ID very well and then use it places for somewhere and then try and then call for vote. There is a marketing platform for DREPs developed by Lido Nation. It is not finished, completely finished. When it is done, it will be announced to have all potential DREPs or all DREPs will make good use of that tool to market their DREP pool. So please, when you are done and have your ID, anytime you lost your ID or you forget your ID and you come back to your dashboard, you can get your DREP ID, you copy it and then call upon your community to delegate their voting power to you. And then another most important thing that try to get a catchy name or convincing name so that people can easily identify you, like WADA. If I want to delegate to WADA, it's WADA. If I just go and I search for WADA, I get it and then it is there. So if you have a name which is known to the community, when you are registering as a DREP, try and use that name so that any community member who wants to delegate his or her voting power to you will be able to do so without no problem or without uh, misleading. So someone asked me if I want to delegate my voting power to a DREP, how can I do so? Good. So now, let me now show you that one. The site has now opened. The site has now opened. If I want to delegate my voting power to a DREP, how can I do that? So now, as I was saying, you can here connect wallet. So let's try and see. I click on connect wallet. It is showing me the wallet, the supported wallet. Eternal, Yoroi. If you can see your wallet, check wallets. Check what wallets are currently compatible with GAF2. So you click on here, it will open so that you see all the wallets which are compatible. So you can see it. I'm showing everything here. Eternal, it is online. Lace, it is online. Nothing, it is online. Vespa, online. Reading note, reading note only. So you can see that. So these are all wallets which are supported. Yoroi is also there. In progress, you can see that this wallet is in progress. So this wallet will not be what? Will not be progress. So you can see all those wallets which are being supported and then you go by that. So please understand, have this at the back of your mind when you are raising as a DREP. So now you choose your wallet. So if I want to choose Yoroi or Eternal, if I choose Yoroi, you are trying to connect. Let's see what happens. It is telling me that no Cardano wallet found. That means that I don't have what wallet in this machine. So create one. Let's see what happens. I try me. I'm going to create. So we are just doing it together. English. Continue. Yes, I accept. So as you know, when creating your wallet, you will be giving your recovery fees and everything. So because this is a live lesson, I don't want to share the recovery fees and everything. So maybe you create your wallet just like you do when your phone. You allow the URL to and all those things. So please try your possible and create your wallet, and then you have the extended version of it, and then you can run it and then connect it with the GAV2. So when that is done, the person who asks how to delegate the voting power is, I just want to show. So you can see, delegate your voting power. On your dashboard, you see that. So delegate your voting power. So that is the place that you'll be able to delegate your voting power to a DREP. When you click on that, it will show you all registered DREP. Become a DREP. So connect to register. Because I've not connected, it's asking me to connect before I can register. Connect to to register. How to to vote directly. I may mention that you can either vote directly or you vote through a DREP. You can vote directly. So you can vote directly and that. So review governance of action proposal, which I've already submitted. I think now we have up to 4. So now let's see what happened here. If I want to delegate to a DREP. So see DREPs. So I've not connected my wallet. Look at what they are saying. Connect to delegate. So once you connect to your wallet, you will be able to delegate to a DREP. So if my wallet were connected, I could have easily click on this one, DREP, see the data, the DREP. So data formatted incorrectly. Why? So let's see. You see the person. So when you are registering, try and put your name. This person have added his name. So you can see the name, the voting power is there. 2020 have been delegated to the person. So you can see, for instance, so here 20 ADA has also delegated to the person. So he's also active. You can see inactive. We are talking of it. If your data is what? Incorrect, you will be what? Inactive. So the status of this DREP is what? Inactive. So this person, however, is what? Active. So please try Apostle Best and then get the information when you move to central.gov tools. So you get all the DREPs who are here. So you can see. So this is another as what? 20 voting power. So you can also search for a DREP. If water was there, I could have just searched. But now, what is the name of your DREP so that we will take that as a empirical study? Water is not yet there. Hello, Ben.
Right. Let me send you. I just completed registering now. So
Okay.
let me send you our DREP ID. The best is to
Okay.
search quickly via DREP ID. I've
Okay.
just put it there on the charts.
Okay. Then let me
So when you
copy it.
enter that, it must bring WIMS Cardano.
Okay.
You can
So give
enter
me.
that number of that and click search.
Okay. So let me search.
Probably it needs you to connect your wallet. Because
Okay.
from my
Okay.
side, it brings
Okay.
out WIMS Cardano.
Okay. Wins Cardano is the name of the his DREP, Wins Cardano. If I try to
Yes.
show more, I might get it because I've not connected. Maybe that's why I'm not seeing it. So if you see people have registered with their names and then their rest, everything is there. So please try a possible. But you can you play with the site to understand more of it. In our next meeting, if you have any question, you can do that. Delegate to a direct. If you want to also know any governance action which have been submitted, so you click on this tab. This to show you the governance action which have already been submitted. Someone is submitting a proposal saying what? In case the stake pool 2000 was already approved by this. Okay, no. So I think this is how voting is going on. You can see all those things in the graph. So this is the site that you can use to register as a DREP as well as delegate to a DREP. These are the proposals. So we are saying that as a DREP, you have to review proposals and then read and then give reasons and rationale for why you are doing this or that. So these are the proposals submitted so far. So on the treasury, last week someone submitted a proposal in Japanese. It was translated for the community to see. So imagine you are a DREP and then proposal you don't have it translated in your team. How do you participate in this? Are you going to trust those who have translated the proposal? Maybe. So this is just an overview of the direct registration portal as well as what you need to know. If there's anything that you want to ask, you're welcome. Okay, so when you open this, how it will show. I was just using this. But I have some either here. I'll connect with that one. So the floor is now on. So that if there's anything, let us. You might feel free to unmute yourself and ask and find out. Yes, that's the name, Cardano. Swings Cardano. And then before we also wrap up, if you are here and then you have not received your data, let me know so that I'll send you a link. And then you are in Ghana. And if you are in Ghana, you are here, you have not received your data to participate in this working group. I'm sending you a link to the chat so that you fill in that data so that we're able to check and then send you that internet data for this week and next week. So please. It's a Google form.
So Prof, this for those who didn't receive earlier before joining, right?
Yes. Those who didn't receive, who didn't receive.
Yeah, so you can you a simple form to collect the information.
Okay.
So this of when we were starting, you said you sent some forms and people filled. I didn't see those forms, so and now you have
You fill,
reduced them to 20. Or did I fill?
yes, I
No.
think you filled it.
Hey.
Or you fill the confirmation. I saw your details.
Okay.
Yes. So it was through the we just pick the all these people to and then share the information with them. The form is now on the chat. So that it's through this form that we want to track to get the committed and then the active people so that always channel the data through that. So if you are here, you have not received the data, just let your details go in that form. And then if you have also received and then key in again, we can track that. So please. Mm. So without much we do, and then
Right. I've sent a picture of how it looks like. I think that site is very slow. When you
yes,
put the ID, it doesn't show, but that is how it looks like.
okay,
Yeah. The best way when you are searching to delegate, use that ID rather than the name, because
okay,
you might have some, let's say, other fake Wims Cardano imitations.
okay,
Best thing is to search and use that ID that you are given.
okay.
In this case, for Wims Cardano is the one that I have sent above.
So
You can
I want to raise one concern, Ben, so that we will discuss that later because this is a governance working group and then we are discussing.
yeah.
How do we get to like whether a reputed arm like WADA? If someone just jam on raise his or her DREP as WADA, how can WADA claim this name? Because and then people might be delegating to the person and then not knowing that that is not the WADA that they want to delegate to. So I think these are all part of the information Charles is advocating for in the fourth generation of blockchain because it is very important. We get the real people in the ecosystem as direct. Mariam, you want to come on board for this? She's not coming.
The security issue, I think you are raising a very important issue
Yes.
about security. Do you see a lot of people who are posting this delegate to me on Twitter?
Yes.
Be careful. That
Yes.
could be a trap. That could be a trap. Because remember, when you delegate, if I give you, there are so many traps. So you need to be very, very careful on Twitter. They're just sending in, giving them your information or going to delegate or what. I mean, be very careful there. That is
Yeah.
what I can say. Number two, at the moment, there is nothing that can prevent a scammer from imitating someone else's brand. They can bring in here maybe a Cardano Foundation, but as long as it is here now, the nice thing about this thing, when you delegate, doesn't take your funds. Just like stake pool delegation, it doesn't take your fund. But since it's something that is starting, I think let us just be careful. That question you raised, maybe we can raise it with Intersect to say, what if someone registers as a WIMS Cardano, then suddenly there are two WIMS Cardano when there's only one, or is WADA? You know what?
Yes.
How then do you apply to get it deregistered? But later on, it's going to be very difficult when we've got millions of people who are dereps now. I don't know, but that's a very good concern.
Yes, so we'll definitely raise it with Intercept. So I will see how best they can come on board. So that was what when Madam Evening asked whether we'll register as a direct also, and we are saying that we are still discussing that, and then we are not jumping into it. We have to understand it very well whether we are going to delegate or we are even going to register as a direct, because it's not something that we should rush to. You can see that when the registration kickstarts, a lot of people were there calling for people delegate. So that was why we are saying very good. So we are cautioning all members in this group that if you want to delegate, try your possible best to get to know that you are delegating to the right person, so that the person you have the representation that you really want for before you delegate your voting power. So thank you very much. Mustafa, if you are here and you want to say it something, you're good to go. I've just restored my wallet, and then we share the slides and everything with the members here, so that
someone's hand is up. I don't know if he has spoken or not. Austin.
Okay, yes, Austin, you can come on board. You can mute yourself and speak.
Austin, let's hear you.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, welcome.
I am Faustin. I'm from Goma, DRC, Goma Stake Pool. And in the form, I saw somewhere when they write the phone number for data. I would ask if can I put my address wallet, send me my data in my wallet.
No, even that address that that option is taking only numbers. You cannot add your wallet address there. Maybe we'll have to look onto that. Maybe if we want to convert the data to ADA, so that participants will be buying the ADA, the data themselves. We'll look onto that and discuss that with the team and see. Because this was just dedicated to the Ghana community, but we are open to other countries as well. So that we have it. If only we are going to be committed and run through this 4 weeks that we are going to do, why not? We can exclude you and then provide you some either to get data and then attend the subsequent meetings.
Yeah, so that helps. So for now, priority is given to the Ghanaian community. Hopefully, maybe subsequent ones, we will see how we can consider. Participants from other regions. So we have 6 minutes to noon, Prof. We can just wrap up. If there are comments, remarks, final questions. When is our next session? Do you want to mention that, Prof?
Yes. So our next session is just next week, September 28th, as we have seen. Our next session will be September 28th, and then but then this will be launched 3 days after our next meeting, so that and then we'll also be discussing Project Catalyst. So then we are going to look at proposal writing. Maybe as I may mention, we'll reach out to some of the experienced people in the ecosystem who have put proposals, not one, not two, not three, and then they will tell us what to do when we are submitting proposal, how to submit proposal, when to make it public. Because some will put it on offline, waiting for the deadline day to do that, and the deadline day has its own problems. So even when the benefit for sharing your proposal early, as all those things, the roadmap of Project Catalyst Fund 13 and then will be discussed, because the roadmap has already been published. So then, so next week, this thing will focus more on a proposal submission and proposal writing. Then after, we'll look at the community reviews. So community review will also come on board. We'll look at the registration of it, very important, because they are now going to roll up registration for community reviews. We'll try to take members through how they can do that, and then guide them how to do the reviews, and then be able to earn the needed rewards as expected. Then marketing of proposals. How are you going to market your proposals so that probably it will get the
gets defined.
So these are the next week topics that we'll be discussing. So those of us who are here, Christopher, can you take the group picture at your end? The group photo.
Never done this, but let me check my features and see.
Check the apps. You
Right.
check the apps and you get to that. So Madam is here. Thank you. So Madam, we will reach out to you so that we see how best we can have the proposal writing and the skills and everything. I remember in May when we were in Accra, you were saying how some people are writing proposals that are not aligned to the ecosystem and all those things. Maybe a lot of have understanding or the kind of proposal that we need, because I attended UDS, we are doing proposal. So some people are there, whenever they hear proposal, they jump on board and then put up in its proposals to the idea scheme. So definitely next week, try and make it a point. That is when, and then your budgeting and everything. Mustafa is here, he will tell us how to do the budgeting. And then maybe how to catch the eye of other people to also do that, whether you are going for the high budget or low budget, why are high, why low. Bernard is also here as well. He have done it before. All of them will try to explain to the community and the members. Can you do it alone, or you have to do it with a team? Those will be discussed. Why do it alone? Why do it a team? Everything will be discussed so that you're able to put up more proposal. We want to ensure that by the end of 2013, at least 3 people from this working group submit proposal in Project Catalyst, and it takes nothing from you. You don't pay anything. It's just the idea. You're able to submit a proposal. So next week we'll be back here, and then
so I think we can just take in the next 2. So if you can show your face, feel free to show your face for the group photo. And if you cannot, that's also fine. We just take that. Let me see. A few of us are on camera. If you can put on your camera.
Yes.
This more like proof of attendance. So you prove your attendance. In case the group photo is shared somewhere in the future, you want to prove that you were part of this session. Anyway, so let me take one shot and see how it's going to look like. Maybe some position ourselves.
I think you have to confirmation will go to participants so that they allow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've gotten few. More. Okay. Okay, I've got one. Maybe I should take one more.
Yes.
Yeah, one last more, and that'll be it. So wait, trying to save the first one. Okay, so let's go.
Good.
So there's going to be a prompt on your screen.
Okay. We have done that. So please, today we're discussing ZREPs and then subsection 94. So those of us who are members here and you want to join or register as a ZREP and maybe you don't have the 500 either, you can talk to one another, you can share. That was why we are doing the intro. If you can form a team, that would be good so that I will see how best you register and you look at your information and we sponsor you with the 500 either to be able to do that. If we don't get people to register as a DREP, then we should get people to be able to submit proposals and put the catalyst. So next week we will be discussing that and then try your possible, but that one doesn't take anything from you. It's just the amount of the time that you spend. So you can also do that as your test try proposal. Who knows, it might go through. So try a possible best and then get that on board.
Right, so we'll end it here. It's noon. It's 2 hours on the call. Just thank and appreciate everyone for joining.
Thank you.
We'll see you
Thank
next.
you, madam, for your time.
Yes, madam. Bernard, hosting, joining from Goma. That's the beauty of virtual calls. So you can join from anywhere, anytime.
Alasan has been here for long. Yeah, we appreciate your time. Yes, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week on our next session.
All right.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. You can stop recording.